Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. So today we're going over to Nottingham to Castle Rock Brewery. Picked this up from Morrison's yesterday on their 4 for 7 deal. Part of a series of beer reviews throughout this year, really looking back at supermarket beers, predominantly supermarket beers, you know, a better on the wallet. And like most people, I do find it hard at times, you know, to go and treat myself to the beers, especially when you're reviewing as much as I do. Got to try and cut the cost down when I can. So anyway, we're going to talk about Castle Rock Brewery, what I see from an outsider point of view. Obviously, I may live in Nottingham, but I have nothing at all to do with Castle Rock Brewery. So yeah, this is a Screech Owl, American IPA, 5.5%. Came into the Sainsbury's as part of the Great British Beer Hunt back in 2012, I think it was, because I worked in Sainsbury's then as the basically the lead on the beers, wines and spirits department. Worked at Beeston for so many months, learnt from a master of how to look after a beer department. Went over there and sorted it out, and yeah, I think they've kept it going ever since actually, but it wasn't the state when I arrived. So yeah, I remember at the time Screech Owl was a beer that certainly was well wanted by the Nottingham public. So I upped all the numbers, got as much in as I could. Sadly it didn't win. I think Bateman's won in the end, but it is what it is on that side of things. So yeah, Screech Owl. I used my one of my Nottingham Beer Festival glasses back from 2015 when it was at the Castle. Not at the Castle now, which is kind of sad really. Castle Rock Brewery at the Castle. I can remember back in the day that Castle Rock actually, in those days, was a much bigger deal at the Castle. They had their like a blooming train type thing. With beers on there, and he had a separate Castle Rock bar as well. How times have changed. But anyway, let's give it a pour, then I'll read the back. 5.5% on cask. This is absolutely stonking. The best of the Castle Rock beers on cask. Although the black IPA, I can't remember the bloody name of it now, but the black IPA is equally stunning. One beer that did fall down in my estimation just recently was the name's gone now. That's bad, isn't it? 3.8% blonde was the champion beer 2010. How can I forget the name of the beer? Oh dear. But anyway, it wasn't as good the other day when I had it, and I didn't really rate the 3.4% either. The How House, you know, I'm not really a fan of this 3.4%, as I've said vocally on the channel. I get why breweries are doing it, I understand why, but not a fan myself, you know, my personal opinion. There you go. So there's the beer. As we can see, it's a lovely looking beer. A little bit of a head on there, white head, dissipated already. Good bit of carbonation going up. I'm going to let the air get to it while I talk about the back. So it's brewed with Centennial and Cascade hops. First brewed in 2008, Screech Owl has become a firm favourite in Castle Rock's core range of beers. It has all the hallmarks of a classic IPA: fresh, bright citrus hops, a full-bodied mouthfeel, and a refreshing but balanced bitterness to finish. Served cool but not cold. 2.8 UK units even. Queensbridge Road, Nottingham, NG2 1NB. I did hear a rumour that Castle Rock were basically being forced out of those premises to for student accommodation. It would be sad to lose the Vat and Fiddle from where it is. I mean, there are other places it could go, I suppose, but whether it happens or not, or whether it's just hearsay, I don't know. You know, literally these days, don't really talk to anybody from the Nottingham beer community. It's been very quiet. No one's come to me, and I've not really gone back the other way. And you know, times move on, I suppose. And the breweries, the beer channel has become much more not just about locals. At one stage, there was quite the local specific beer reviews on the channel. It's literally 60% of the beer reviews on the channel were all local. And you know, I've done my bit over the years to support local breweries, but yeah, it's been very quiet on all the local front, and I know this because, you know, literally not been, shall we say, I don't know if the word's invited, but certainly, you know, not considered for anything from any locals. Now I take that as a thing that during COVID the locals were, and then them times the locals were quite happy to for beer reviews, but these days they all seem to have backtracked, and that's up to them. It is what it is. So anyway, there we go, that's the beer. And funny enough, today is Castle Rock's yard party down at that location. Today and tomorrow. This being Friday, the 7th of June. I know it's the 7th. It's son's birthday today, so we've been out for a meal tonight. And it's on tomorrow. I shall not be going both days. It's too close to the Craft Beer Festival for me. You know, very difficult in this day and age, unless you've got lots of pennies to spend, and justifying spending, you know, got to be honest, you look at the ticket prices, 17 quid to get in. Yeah, you get a glass. I got the same glass last year as I got the year before. You get a glass, but that's it, and for 17 quid. I do think beer festivals need to think about what they offer for the price of the ticket, and yep, £5 for the glass, fair dues, but maybe a couple of tokens in that to get a couple of beers off the bar, even if it's only own brand, i.e. Castle Rock. Definitely. And this is a thing that you look at beer festivals, and I'm looking at all beer festivals now, and I look and think, I'm not paying that price. I'm not doing it. I might be a fan of beer, might love going to these beer festivals, but there's a moment where I say no, and sadly that moment has come this year. But anyway, let's dive into the beer. I'm already 8 minutes in, so I've rattled. So I've got to be honest, not much of a nose on this. Yeah, not much of a nose at all, to be honest. Like I say, cask is king with this. Harvest Pale was the beer. It did come to me in the end. Yeah, Harvest Pale. I had it the other week, and it felt more weaker. The ABV was still the same, I know that. I can read the pump clip. But it felt thinner. Didn't taste the same as I remember it. And I remember Harvest Pale back in 2010. One of the beers that got me into the world of real ales. So, you know, one of the pivotal beers that got Raggy's beer reviews. Way before I ever did bloody beer reviews, you know, into this world. When I had it the other week, it didn't taste the same. So, you know, is what it is. You can only see it as you say it as you see it and drink it. Although credit to Castle Rock, although I'm sure I was the inspiration for this. Over at the Victoria Hotel, they had a picture of Hemlock Stone, the bitter. We had that in the Victoria Hotel when it came out, part of Camera's 50th celebrations. Somebody was watching the channel. Hey ho. But yeah, part of them celebrations, and that was absolutely stunning. And for me, that needs to come back as a core beer, because it's as when people who drank it with me, who are Castle Rock fans for many years, and a lot longer than I've been a beer person, and that was top notch for them. And sadly, it's gone again. So, but anyway, let's dive in. And the reason for doing up-to-date beer reviews is there are breweries across the country who are putting less hops in their beer. They are brewing things using cheaper ways of making the beer, maybe dropping the ABV, or this ABV is actually the same, but there are Shepherd and Neem, they're guilty of this. What they're doing to their beer, putting glucose in the beer, is shocking. Especially glucose that's not fermenting out. I mean, I get, as a home brewer, putting sugar in your beer to bump the ABV up. Something I do. But I don't want to be tasting bloody sugar. And for a commercial brewery to still have the taste, you know, distinctive taste of glucose in a beer that never had the taste of glucose in a beer before. So this is the reason for doing the 2024 beer reviews, to see if the beers are the same. See if the beers are the same to me. Like I say with this beer, 10 years ago, and even a few years ago on cask, certainly on cask, it delivered a fantastic pint. These days, we shall see, you know. I bought it for the reason to see what it's like, and now remember, one person's opinion. So in the grand scheme of things, depends on what you eat and all them business. And then also, your taste buds change. In some ways, some beers get better, some beers will get worse. So always a little caveat to add there, you know, our taste buds change. And but also saying that, some beers, you know, like I say, there are breweries around that are maybe dropping a few less hops in, because hops cost money to put into beer, and all parts of the brewing process, you know, it's all costly, isn't it? And the profit made going into somewhere like Morrison's, there is a lot of profit in it. As far as I know, Castle Rock do not have a bottling plant on site. So, as far as I know, it's brewed at Nottingham. It's not brewed at Attic Brew Co. like the craft beers were. But it's brewed on site, and then it's shipped to Marston's. And I've had a lot of people saying to me that beers don't travel, not just this brand, but other brands, where the beers don't travel. We all have our own opinions on that. It'd be interesting for people who've had this recently, both on cask or in bottle, for your opinion. I'm always interested to hear people's opinions on beers. Mine's only one. On a channel that's still relatively small by the means of things in social media. Still not, you know, gone viral in any way, shape or form, but still staying true to my beliefs and my beer reviews for what that is. So put all the rest in, we'll have a drink, and we'll see how it rates. I'll be honest, don't seem to have the twang like it used to. I remember it being a bit more punchy and a bit more fruity. You know, with those American hops. It's at the right temperature for it. You know, it's not too hot. It's a nice pint. Yeah, we'll say that. It is a nice beer. Doesn't seem to be the same to me as it did. Yeah, I mean, I've had this on cask literally. I think I had it at the Crown Inn in Beeston, and it was tasting bang on there. Crown Inn do keep their beer well, mind you. Don't think it was that long. I think it was last 6 months ago, literally. I've drank a lot of beer, mind you, so yeah, can't remember everywhere where you've had a beer. Okay. So you've seen the pour, you've seen the whitehead. Like I say, on the nose, initially at first, little to no nose at all. Got a bit more fruitier, but on the taste, I know that cask is king. With regards to taste, it always will be, always has been, always will be. It's fresh. It's, you know, normally fresh anyway. Although I did go to a pub in Arnold once. I went in for a brewery that I love. Drank the beer, knowing the beer, got the beer, and that, bloody hell, that's disgusting. And yeah, I had to endure it, and oh dear. Soon went on to something different, but that's pub's not keeping the beer well. So yeah, this it's tasting nice, but it's not the same as I remember. I've got to be honest. Will I drink it again? Yes. I'll test it on cask when I see it on cask somewhere. Out of 5. Now there's a thing. For me, on today's bottle that's just come from Morrison's, I'm going to give it about a 3.8. Yeah. So normally it would have got between 4.3 and 4.4 on my ratings, you know, for what ratings are. But yeah, not quite the beer that I've had before. I'll keep an eye on this. I've got Elsie Mo to review as well, so that'll be interesting because I know what Elsie Mo tastes like as well. Had them enough times. I know what the beers taste like. yes. Don't know what to say about that. Tough when it's, you know, when it's a brewery that you know and it's on your doorstep. And I know I'm not that sort of person who's an arse, but I certainly want to be honest, you know. And there we go. That's my review. Cheers.